Hi guys, this is Michael from the Boardgames Chronicle. Today I have a material for you about a very beautiful game about very interesting conflict. Today I have for you Freezing Inferno, so USSR versus Finland in 1939-1940. This is a game about one of the initial conflicts of World War II. Let's set up some context here. After Nazi Germany and communistic Russia attacked Poland in September 1939, the USSR continued its aggressive policy against Baltic states, and then in November, December also turned hostile towards Finland. You should also remember that they also forced Romania to seize some territory. So in December, they attack into Finland, and the so-called Winter War starts for about three and a half months, in which Finland manages to defend its independence, its sovereignty, although, of course, with some compromise and ceding some territory. This is exactly a game about this conflict, a beautiful game, very interesting, with some new approaches, some new mechanics, which I will also touch upon a bit in this material. Of course, this is mainly the first look at it, so it will be much more focusing on what's inside the box. But stay tuned for also some interesting rules and mechanics information. Let's have a look. This is a big, sturdy box, heavy. A very nice back showing you the map and how both sides set up and what's inside. You know, this was a Kickstarter game, and sometimes Kickstarter games does not look exactly the same how they look in the campaign materials. In this case, this is a good sign. It's really as beautiful as it was promised. You have a Finland and USSR flags here, and now when we open it, we see already that the map, which is here, is very nicely packed, so it's sturdy and it's good for transport. What do we have here? We have the rule book. Okay, the actual rules are about 30 pages. Some of them will be optional. The glossy, nice material, not overly dense. You can also have a version with the miniatures. I went actually with counters. This is, by the way, a counter game, so went with this. Yeah, some important rules are mentioned here. There is also information how to start playing. You can play one player as a Russians, one player as a Finns, or two player, one person is Russian and one is Finns. There is a very nice bot. I will show you. This is resolving the battle, special abilities, unit costs during the reinforcements phase. There are two or three optional modules in this game, which can really prolong fun from it. First of all, there is a weather option. Second of all, there's technological tactical improvements. That's a cool stuff. Of course, you cannot do too much during the 3 months of the war, but still, there are some things which can happen. And there should be one more thing. Yes, diplomacy. It was also important during this stage of war. Here you have a whole action sequence. You have a solo mode, how Finland and how USSR bots are working. And now is the cool stuff. When you play with a bot, you set up your forces, and then you have 8 setups of the bot, which can really surprise you. For example, this is Finland bot. You can see how he set up in a really various matters. For example, here defending only the top, here defending mainly the south. Yeah. So you can see those setups for the Finland bot. And here we start with a USSR bot setup. Also, you will be, when you set up your forces for solo play, you will need to randomly choose one of those 8. If you play two-player, you can also use for setups, or you can simply set up in a secret way, for example, using this block. Or you can use predetermined setup, those B, and B here shows how you should set up for the regular game, how it more or less historically looked like. So this was the historical setup of the Finnish forces. Here was the historical setup of the USSR forces. And I will tell you about the forces in a moment and about victory conditions when I will be showing you them. So we see this is not overly complex rulebook. I would say medium heavy game. Yeah, maybe even a light war game to some extent. Yeah, definitely not overly complex. And here, as I said, you can do the secret setup of the forces. Let's look now at the component. Let me open this ziplock. There are special containers for all of those counters, which I will show you in a moment. But before this, I would like to mention what kind of forces we have, and they are of course mentioned also here, and we can cross-reference them and in a very nice table. Let me just see. Here you already can see some of them, but no, I wanted. Oh, for example, we'll have infantry, artillery, tank, fighter, bomber, anti-air, and HQ. So you can already see here. This is the infantry. You have the tanks. Here we have the airplanes, both bombers and fighters, anti-air here, and this is the Finnish forces. You can see infantry, tanks. Here we would have bombers and fighters, and also some additional stuff. I think this is from this additional module regarding the weather, but also regarding the tactical technological developments. There is a second, third, fourth, and fifth counter sheets. So more or less similar number of units for Russians and Finns on all of them. Of course, not, for example, all Finns will immediately be fighting. There will be some mobilization also undergoing. You can also see the strength and the movement. The movement allowance I don't believe is here, but there is a strength of attack and defense. Yes, attack and defense. Obviously, they are really nice and they are pre-rounded. Two-sided, yeah. So I really like them. This is a thick cardboard, nice looking. This would be the control markers because we will be fighting for the critical cities. Yeah, so these are the control markers, I believe. And now one of the most beautiful parts of the game. Oh, I like it so much. The map. It actually drew my attention when I was looking through the Kickstarter campaign. And when I was thinking, okay, guys, you showed me such a beautiful map. Will you produce it in that way? And to my astonishment, the producers managed to do it. Okay, so let me now put the map here. You would need some space to play this game, I don't deny, but I like to have larger hexes than a smaller one. Now guys, I would need, in order to fit into the camera, probably place it that way, and guide you through this. First of all, over here in top left, we have attack modifiers. Depending where is the attacker, defender, what type of attacker defender is here. In forest, hill, or mountain, usually there will be minus. Only in one case there is a plus. So when tank is defender, you would have also some, what happens in the fortification and what happens in the city. Here is general track. Here on the map you can see these are of course woods, and this would be airstrip. These are the cities. Yep. The ones with the stars are the key cities. There's Petsamo, there is Oulu, and there should be Helsinki over here. Yeah, Helsinki we have here. So there are 3 Finnish key cities. For the USSR to win, they need to capture 2 out of those 3. But this is only the first rule, because if we look further there, you can see the border. This is Finland USSR border. There are around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities here on the USSR side, and USSR has to control at least 5 out of those 7 in order to be able to win. So there are 2 conditions: controlling 2 out of 3 Finnish ones, and controlling 5 out of 7 for the USSR. The game lasts 8 turns. If at the end of the turn 8 there is no victory for the USSR, the Finns of course win. We have Sweden and Norway here, and you can see the numbers. For example, numbers here. Those numbers are very important ones. They have a specific name. Let me just quote it for you, so I'm not misspelling this. Yes. They will be giving you the possibility to build additional stuff. Yeah, I believe. Okay, got it. Military capacity. You can see this is the military capacity for those cities, and they in total give a national military capability. At the beginning, the Finns have 28, and the Russians are having 30. If you add up all of those, that actually goes to 28 for the Finns and 30 for the USSR. And what happens when the enemy occupies such hex? So if enemy occupies this hex, the Finnish player loses 2 from his military capability and possibility to build units, but the opponent gains only 1. So when you gain the opponent's military capability space, you lose. You gain only 1, but the opponent loses the full amount. You can see the roads, which allow for a quicker movement. You can see the towns. You can see here, yeah, the really huge fortifications. You can see also some small towns, cities, and airstrips. So this is the map. It's simply looking gorgeous. I will leave it here. Sorry, I will leave it here because we are not yet done with the components. We still have in the box a couple of things. First of all, we have those boxes. One would be for USSR, and the other will be for Finns. Let me just take it out. You see, a really nice produced box where you can store, for example, all your units. Here we have a box for the Finns, and in this box, I'm keeping some of the beautiful die. This is, I think, D20. Oh no, it is D8, but a strange one. This is D8. This is D12. This is 8. This is okay. So there is a lot of them, different colors, different variations. Definitely will be using them. Now, we will have also some cards in this game, and these are the tarot size cards with some events. I would need to read the rules exactly what they do and how they do. Let me just open them for your reference. So this is also visible to you. It's always hard to open those, but okay, I have some sharp knife. It will help us, and we will have a look into this. Looks like some event cards. Okay, it depends on turn. So we have like 3 events for turn 1. Bombing of Helsinki. The Soviets took Petsamo, and the Soviets reached the Mannerheim line. Would need to read the instruction to understand how exactly we'll be playing those. But that sounds very thematic. Okay, beautiful. And you see the same color as here. Okay, another box is here. Okay, this looks like military capital, but I would need, of course, read the rules to be 100% sure about it. Let me use this box here to put it. Yep, nice looking. Really cool. I told you the components are top quality and really, really nice looking. Okay, we still have one more thing to open. Okay, here we have player aids. First of all, for USSR AI bot, for Finland AI bot. It also includes those optional modules and how bot executes in combat. Then what do we have here? Okay, this solid part. Meteorology, espionage, sabotage. This is for this optional module. Yeah, your tactical and strategical developments. Exactly, technology improvements. You can see here. Then, similar thing for the optional rules for the Finnish forces, also starting at 3. Starting at here, so they start pretty in similar way as the Russians, and you have all those areas. Yep. Then we have ground-to-ground and air-to-air combat result table. I will not be going in this material into details, but believe me, guys, this is pretty innovative, and it's really cool to play it. It helps a lot with the calculation also of the odds, all of those, ratios. Air-to-ground combat result table. So when we attack that way. Then we have CRT abbreviations. So what does it mean over here? Terrain movement cost. And I believe we should have also here action sequence and unit costs. Price without module, with module 2, 3, module 2 and 3, because you will be able in those modules, it's optional modules, to have some discounts on production of those units. When we have a weather, the effects, for example, you would have weather affecting whether the sea is frozen, whether the lakes are frozen, and so on and so forth. And then it goes here. It's really beautifully produced and very well thought out. I would say somebody who was designing this thought a lot about how to put it. And just let me close. Don't use force, do it gently. We need to put the dice here. Good. I believe it was like that. It was here. And it fits nicely in this large, big box. Okay, I will probably do a full cleanup after we finish this video. Just let me put it here for some closing remarks. So, guys, this is Freezing Inferno. a game about the Winter War between USSR and Finland, 1939-1940, a beautifully published game with some very interesting core mechanics. At the heart, this is a hex and counter game, but with a twist in battles, with optional possibility of adding weather, tactical and strategical development, as well as diplomacy. A great game for 2 players, but with a really interesting bots for both Finnish and for the USSR side. That's all from me for today. I will definitely bring this title soon to the table. This is something which intrigued me and really caught my eye when I was backing up this Kickstarter campaign. I'm so happy that the promises, according to the quality of the components, are fulfilled, according also to the fulfillment date. Yeah, this is something I would like to stress. We got this game on time. Having this in mind, I would like you guys to give a thumbs up if you like this video. If you'd like to see more content like this, kindly please subscribe to this channel. And of course, use the comment section below video to share your opinion, to ask questions, and simply to show your support. Thank you for watching, and bye.